Hello, everyone. Welcome to yet another episode of the Force Talks webinar. This is Pooja Roy, your host for the day, and our today's guest is Mr. Kunal Parikh. Kunal is a Salesforce Marketing Cloud champion of class 2023 who has marked his crown for 6 times already as a marketing champion. Kunal is also a data cloud consultant and personalization certified who has been helping all the Salesforce marketing enthusiasts for a long time now as a Salesforce Martech Global Leader. With that being said, thank you so much, Kunal, for joining us at the Force Talks webinar. We are truly honored to have you with us.
Thank you, Pooja. Thank you for the introduction, and pleasure's all mine. And yeah, looking forward to this exciting topic that we have and discussing that in detail.
Right, right. So, our topic for today's webinar is Salesforce Customer 360 Implementing a Winning Strategy. In the world of customer relationship management, Salesforce Customer 360 is a game changer. We all know that. So, today we'll dive deep into what Salesforce Customer 360 is and how it can boost your business outcomes. So, first, let's kick off things with a fundamental question. Kunal, could you please explain to our audience what is Salesforce Customer 360 and why is it so significant in the world of customer relationship management?
So, in terms of overall customer 360, so say if you take any customer and for any organization, what is it that goes in? I mean, we normally talk about a CRM, we normally talk about a marketing automation platform, we talk about a website, but I mean, we tend to forget with respect to what an overall customer 360 is about. I mean, a customer 360 is, say, right from a customer is a lead to where he's nurtured with respect to campaigns to he becomes a particular customer basis a transaction that he does with a brand, and then post which starts with respect to the transaction journey as well in terms of his financial details, invoicing, his operational delivery with respect to the transaction that he's carried out, and all of those aspects that are there now. That's what is an overall customer 360, where basically the platform helps you to get that one single view of the customer. So basically, it is where as a brand you will have different teams talking to your end customer. Let that be your IT team, let that be your marketing team, let that be your finance team with respect to transactions, commerce team with respect to delivery of a product, so on and so forth. So you'll have various teams that are there. Basically, Salesforce brings in that connectivity to connect all the teams into, having that one view of the end customer, where they know what that particular person is doing with respect to the overall transaction. If you see, I mean, according to reports, there is overall a lot of departments working in silos where people are working separately in terms of overall with respect to different teams not having that view of the customer. That is where customer 360 comes in, where the Salesforce 360 helps organizations, helps teams within an organization to get that one view of the customer in terms of what that particular customer is doing. So say for example, if I transact with a particular say NTO brand, and which is an NTO retail brand that is there selling me a sport good. I mean, for me, I mean, it might be the marketing campaign that must have triggered, but post that, once I do that transaction, what is the view that NTO has is something which Salesforce 360 helps with, so that the entire NTO as an organization or a brand has that one view of myself as a customer that is there. And then beyond which it comes across where a lot of things can be even built with respect to that. So we are only looking at from a marketing efficiency perspective or a marketing perspective. Definitely, I mean, we have Salesforce CRM, Salesforce Marketing Cloud, but what happens when it comes to the operational excellence? What happens to the delivery? What happens to maybe the financial transaction that I do with NTO? So all of those things is something where Salesforce Customer 360 comes in, which helps you answer those questions, simplify those processes for the end customer, and basically as a brand helps you in terms of having that one view, all aspects with respect to a particular customer, and having that overall view that is there.
That's fascinating. Salesforce, yeah, exactly like you said, Salesforce Customer 360 has made the job so much easier for the organizations, right? At
Right.
having all the relevant information of your customer gathered at one place, I think gives a literal 360 view of your customers. So that is absolutely fascinating. And that is why I guess it is so relevant for the, organization to implement it, right?
Right.
Oh, yeah, that's fascinating to know. Now let's talk about like how implementing Salesforce Customer 360 can, positively impact your businesses. You talked so much, how important Customer 360 has become in an organization's life. So how implementing it can give positive impact for businesses. So my next question would be, do you think it can, boost business outcomes and have some specific benefits for the companies which we can expect to see as an organization? Yeah,
So it definitely does. I mean, so in terms of where uh, it's one in terms of prioritizing your outcomes that are there, because different teams within the organization will have different outcomes that they are working on to. So, say for
right,
example, your sales and marketing teams will look at increasing the leads, increasing the customer base, increasing the ticket size with respect to the customer base.
right,
When it comes to in terms of say services, it is more of operational efficiency that they are looking at, how good they can be with respect to say personalizing the service experience that is there, so that say once the person or once the customer once a lead becomes a customer, so once the sales
right,
happens, it is where they want to create that right experience for the customer. So that's where the services team will come in. Then as well as you will have your, so definitely sales marketing service is one part of it. You will have your e-commerce team basically looking to do the upsell cross sell. You will have your say maybe business with respect to in terms of handling one type of service, in terms of say maybe invoicing or transaction or transactional efficiency that is there, which in turn leads to the overall operational efficiency. So
right,
in terms of overall, it helps in terms of say making the entire experience of a customer or of a end customer to be seamless, to be smooth. Now,
hmm,
in that, as we spoke, I mean, so sales will have some part of it as outcomes that they are looking at. Marketing has some outcomes that they are looking at or they want to achieve. Services has some part to achieve. Now, that's where then comes the prioritization of what is the outcome which they need to do first. So, say, is
right,
it where they want to first look at increasing the number of leads or your lead base that is there? Do you want to increase your pipeline first? Or
hmm,
do you want to look at retention marketing with respect to retaining your customers first? Or you want to say maybe upsell, cross sell to your existing customers and look at increasing in terms of the overall sales cycle there or sales value there vis-a-vis your lead bucket that is there. So then comes in terms of the prioritization that is there, where what is it that you're looking from an outcome
hmm,
perspective, what is the priority that you have, and then accordingly it will fall in with respect to whether say you want to implement the crm first, you want to
hmm,
implement the service cloud first, you want to implement the salesforce marketing cloud first for your communications, or you want to handle it with respect to say implementing personalization first. So then comes the prioritization in terms of what platform will be involved, what do you want to implement, and then taking it further with respect to implementing it, setting it up, integrating it with your source systems or your existing systems,
right.
and migrating the overall business to the Salesforce platforms that are there.
Yeah, I guess it has something for all the departments, which makes it all the more important for the organizations to implement. And yeah, if I guess if there is a platform which offers something for all the departments in an organization, it automatically, helps you to increase your ROI and boost your business outcomes. Then, yeah,
Right.
that's definitely some valuable insights. Uh, Now that we understand the importance of benefits of Salesforce Customer 360, let's move on to the next segment of our webinar. Kunal, could you share some insights on how to go about implementing Salesforce Customer 360? Now that we have learned the importance of it, if we want to implement it on our organization, what are some best practices and consideration would you suggest? Yeah.
So I would say one is with respect to identifying what your overall objectives are as an
Mhm.
organization. So
Yeah.
Salesforce, from a solutioning perspective, has a solution for your marketing, for your sales, for your operations, for your customer service, for your e-commerce teams, for your business teams. I mean, they have a bucket of products that are there. Uh, you need to identify saying that, okay, what is it in terms of that you're looking at as an overall outcome? And once you define that, prioritize that with respect to saying that, okay, do I want to address marketing first, then
Mhm.
get those marketing related platforms implemented first? Is it that I want to help my sales team first, and the
Mhm.
overall sales numbers that I'm looking at to increase, or revenue perspective to increase? Then
Mhm.
basically prioritize and address with respect to implementing the sales platforms initially, before you move to the other platforms or other solutions that are there. Now, why the prioritization? Because so one, Salesforce makes it easy with respect to having the entire piece that is there in terms of the overall business, where the entire solutioning is possible. So you have answers or platforms or solutions for sales, marketing, your
Mhm.
internal ops, your commerce, everything that is there. So then you start bundling it out in terms of priority. What is it that comes first? What is the capabilities that as an organization also you have in terms of say, does marketing need more addressal versus the sales versus my commerce? And then depending on that, you prioritize it. So once the priority is done, you finalize a product that, okay, I will start with my CRM first, then typically go to my marketing piece, then I will handle personalization, then I will go to say maybe commerce, and then the
Mhm.
final piece with respect to analytics. So you break down your overall outcomes into smaller outcomes, get the right products, get the right team in terms of so we all know that Salesforce typically works with a partner ecosystem where they have partners who help customers with respect to implementation
Mhm.
integration. That's where you they get your right partner involved, get the product implemented, get your team set up, and then once that is done, basically you will start reaping the benefits with respect to implementing those platforms that are there. So it's more of outcome driven, where you what you want to achieve is something you need to identify, and then
Right.
based on that decide the priority in terms of what you want to implement.
Yeah, I guess prioritization is very important then in this thing, because depends upon what do you want to achieve, what are your organizational goals, and this is depending upon that. Uh, an organization can plan to implement it. And as you said, it is very important to involve partner at some point of your at some point in this implementation process, because consulting partners are, I guess, they are the ones who are ending up making the most out of any platform or any product you are using. So that is like very informative thing you shared. So now let's turn our attention to some of the real world application of Salesforce Customer 360. Kunal, I guess one of the most compelling ways our audience and me as well as a layman person can understand how Salesforce Customer 360 would be the real world cases. So could you share an example, like if you have watched in your experience how Customer 360 have helped organizations in their processes, like the one we have shared here with Mercedes Benz? Do you have any more examples in a generic way, like how it might have helped? Yeah.
Right. So, I think overall, with respect to, even if we take
Mhm.
Mercedes Benz as an example,
Mhm.
they are, and they use overall, globally as well as India, they use a lot of products of Salesforce in terms of end to end for their overall experience that is there.
Yeah,
And
that's
in fact, many other customers that we worked with, it's where they started with respect to one problem, saying that okay, I mean we are not able to provide that customer experience. Or say for example, in terms of any automobile provider or any
Mhm.
real estate example that we take, it's like their main important thing is how to improve that overall experience of a site visit or a test drive for a car that is there.
Okay.
Now they start with say that problem that is there,
Mhm.
in terms of where they want more people visiting the site, or more people say doing those test drives with the car, in terms of increasing, say, so for a layman it would be increasing footfalls or increasing
Mhm.
leads that are there. So that's
Mhm.
where so they say that okay, for increasing leads, they want that one view of the customer. Their support team requires that one single view of what the lead is doing, what that lead that they've got
Exactly.
through either events or through their website or through say a
Yeah.
particular campaign. What is it that they require to, how does their services team get that view? How do they use the CRM into the picture, where they need to implement CRM, where they have to have like a CRM implemented so that the people get that one view that is there. Then
Right.
comes in terms of once the leads are there, what do you do to those leads? So it's where you start say talking to those leads with respect to various mediums, say showing them ads on social media, sending them emailers, or say maybe communicating with them via WhatsApp campaigns, so on and so forth. So but again, I mean, if it was say either you or if it was me, I mean, say any brand, I mean, if somebody talks to me like saying that, hey, you want to purchase a car, go ahead, visit our showroom, definitely I would ignore that message, or I would not address that message. Whereas, say, if somebody messages in terms of, hey, Kunal, I mean, we saw that you have an interest towards purchasing a black model of a particular car, and some touch point that is mentioned to personalize that communication that is there, is where definitely I will interact. So then comes your overall personalization into the picture, where you communicate correctly, you send the right message at the right time, and basically generate that interest that is there. Once all of that is done, is your overall commerce piece, or your say transaction piece, where say you made the customer driven to purchase, the customer has made the decision to purchase,
Mhm.
has
Mhm.
gone ahead, made the purchase. How do you
Mhm.
nurture that customer for further purchase? So it's where you have him purchase more, or say you increase his ticket size in terms of transactions, so on and so forth,
Mhm.
is where the loyalty comes in, the loyalty cloud comes in with respect to loyalty programs, loyalty engine that comes in, and
Right.
then overall analytics as well with respect to how is my campaign performing? Has say the segment related to Kunal responded to a particular communication? Has he transacted? Has Pooja, say, maybe purchased a particular product which
Right.
we shared as a recommendation? That's where all of those analytics come in into the picture with respect to intelligence, Tableau, Datorama. So it's
Mhm.
basically where brands use end to end, right from a lead nurturing stage to the customer onboarding, to as well as upselling, cross selling a customer. It's like that entire overall experience being managed via these various platforms.
Right.
And these bigger brands definitely do that, where they use multiple products, multiple solutions of Salesforce, which help them to cater to multiple use cases in terms of lead nurturing, customer upsell, cross sell, overall retention marketing,
Mhm.
analytics,
Mhm.
end to end overall customer journey that is there, which a
Yeah.
customer typically has with a particular brand.
Right. You shared something about big brands, but do you suggest like small businesses can also, implement customer 360? Is it going to help them as well in the bigger, on larger scale? Yeah.
I mean, definitely yes, in terms of overall. So it might be where, they don't do it, say, maybe all together. So they
Yeah.
start with a, so I would not say prioritization. If I were to say, break
Mm-hmm.
the 360 into, say, smaller pieces, where you start with a, say, 90-degree first, 180-degree first, and
Okay.
then go to an
Yeah.
overall 360-degree perspective of an end-to-end platform investment, definitely you can achieve your goals. It will help you achieve your goals, because at the end, it's where, say, you might have the right strategy in place, you
Hmm.
might have the right ideas in place, but if you don't have the, uh, I would say, data and the right platforms that are there in terms of to help you with respect to those right campaigns, right, data nurturing or data management that is there, is where you're not going to achieve the goals. And yes, for these smaller companies or for these growing companies, it is a challenge where, say, doing the right investment with the right at the right time. So it's where you start slow, but
Right.
then as you grow along with the platforms, and definitely, I mean, have that entire 360 view and
Yeah.
360 implementation done, which will overall help you in the longer run, with respect to as you grow as well.
Right, right. That's absolutely helpful because my question was only this, that either it is like helpful for the small businesses as well, and as you said, yeah, it depends upon the goals and the things they want to achieve. Also, just wanted to ask out of curiosity, are there any pain points we need to take care of while maybe going ahead with this, so that we can make more out of it? It doesn't go like it should. I as a person who is implementing this for my organization, I should not feel like I am like is not able to make exactly what I want to achieve with this. Are there any pain points we need to take care of? Do you think, are there any, or no, it is just about implementing it right?
No, I think definitely not. I think it's more of where the organization should be driven. So, in fact, the customer 360, the name in itself has
Hmm.
where, so it's where you are providing that one view of the customer with respect to a customer 360. But if you say flip it or think from the back end, that's where, as an organization as well, you should have that entire organization driven towards the success of implementing this customer 360. It's where, uh, so it's not only like a, say, marketing goal or a finance goal or a
Hmm.
operational goal that is there. It's
Hmm.
where everyone has to get that outcome achieved, everyone has to be driven to achieve that overall customer 360 as a outcome that they are going to get, and work towards it. And in fact, I mean, I would be candid to share that this is the problem that we face day in day out, where, say, at a business user level, maybe your
Hmm.
CMOs or your CEOs, they know that, okay, they want to implement customer 360 in terms of
Exactly.
for this particular outcome, but the teams that are there or the teams that are on the ground level, they are not aligned to it, and that's
Yeah.
where majority of the projects fail, because
Same. Mhm.
they are not working towards the outcome which the CEOs, CMOs are working. So
Exactly.
one, definitely where it's the entire organization has to work towards it, and then definitely you will see success with respect to in terms of implementations of customer 360 or various Salesforce platforms that you talk about.
Right, right. That was so helpful and a very powerful success story as well you shared. Kunal, to wrap up our discussion, we have, covered up a lot of ground today, from understanding what Salesforce Customer 360 is to its incredible impact on our businesses. It is clear that this strategy can be a game changer, just like it was for Mercedes, of course. So, lastly, Kunal, would you like to share some, like, words from your end, or maybe, how can people may connect with you if they have some queries afterwards, or maybe to gain some more knowledge around marketing cloud? Would you like to share something from your end?
Sure. So I think overall, I mean, I would just leave it with the food for thought that, look at implementing Salesforce solutions. They are definitely helpful.
Yeah.
And from an overall solutioning perspective, yes, it's the world number one brand. So we might think that it's expensive, but that is not the case. It's more of a solution driven approach, which organizations should keep or brands should keep. And the pricing and all of those things will definitely fall in place. In terms of reaching out, you can connect with me on LinkedIn, or I have dropped my email ID. You can connect with me on email for any queries that are there. And also, I mean, you can reach out to the Force Talks teams, and happy to answer any questions around, I mean, Salesforce or anything pertaining to the customer 360 as well. Happy to take those up in terms of any questions that are there.
Thank you so much, Kunal. It was so incredible that I found this discussion so impressive and so interesting that I had so many questions, and I want to keep asking you and understand more and more of it. So thank you so much for sharing your expertise with us today. It's been an enlightening discussion, and we hope our audience has gained valuable insights. We would definitely love to host you again to gain more deeper insights on Marketing Cloud. Uh,
Perfect.
yeah, and to our audience, thank you for joining us for this webinar. We hope you find it informative. If you have any more questions or need further information, feel free to reach out to us. And stay tuned for more exciting webinars from Food Stocks. Thank you, everyone.